Emma Stone, NBC Tonight.
Welcome. What's your name?
Hold up! These guys need all night to build what they're going to build. We need everyone to go home. Judges 2.
AGT, Tuesday on NBC and Peacock.
You guys know there's some history here.
And I'm going to bring it again. And I'm going to win.
Megan is back to make Jimmy eat his words.
What? I'm so sorry. Are you okay?
An all-new Password, Tuesday on NBC and Peacock.
Live from Rhinelander, this is News Watch 12 at 10. The Northwoods Best News with Dan Hagan, meteorologist Chase Ropanak, and Saul Meyer with sports. News from where you live starts now.
Good evening, I'm Dan Hagan. Today, the Oneida County Planning and Development Committee met to discuss a conditional use permit for the Minocqua Brewing Company. Our own Simone Garber was at the meeting today and has the story.
I think this meeting is over. I got a feeling I'm going to jail.
Chaos erupted this afternoon at an Oneida County Planning and Development Committee meeting, where members voted to suspend the Minocqua Brewing Company's conditional use permit for 90 days, or until requirements are met. These requirements include adjusting the height of the brewery's fence, installing pavers according to plan, and paving the parking lot. At a rally ahead of the meeting, Minocqua Brewing Company owner Kirk Bankstead argued that the county's efforts to shut down his business are a result of his politics, rather than the legitimate enforcement of zoning ordinances.
This is their way to bankrupt me, so I cannot have a voice anymore and try to change and try to keep Wisconsin blue.
During the meeting, Bankstead spoke outside the scope of his permit violations, which led Committee Chairman Scott Halowinski to call a 5-minute recess. When Bankstead continued to speak out of turn, he was escorted out.
I would like you to leave the meeting.
I would like to see you make me leave the meeting. Okay. This is illegal. You will see us in federal court because the Oneida County courts can't be trusted.
The committee allocated several minutes for public input during the hearing. Some in attendance opposed the county's actions, arguing that its treatment of Bankstead is unfair.
This is just unconscionable what you're doing. I don't understand it. If you don't like the man, don't go to his business. It's as simple as that.
Others, however, expressed concern about Bankstead's unabashed conduct during the hearing and what that means for the reputations of other Minocqua business owners.
He is just putting a terrible, bad name on Minocqua when he constantly is either in the paper or speaking like he spoke today, which is very, very rude.
If Bankstead does not fulfill the requirements of the conditional use permit within 90 days, another suspension revocation meeting will be automatically scheduled. Reporting in Rhinelander, Simone Garber, Newswatch 12.
Well, Chase, pretty nice day out there. It's kind of cool, too, which I like.
Yeah, things are definitely cooling down now. It's been, we've had a few more cooler nights than we had the previous few nights when it was in the, 70s. So things are looking good for right now. We can see temperatures right now are in the mid-60s for us. Rhinelander at 65, and much of the state is in those low to mid-60s as well. If we look a little bit north, we are getting to the upper 50s up there, as we see by Manitowish Waters and Land O' Lakes. Other than that, temperatures are cooling down still for us, and we will get close to those 50s going into the early morning hours. For tomorrow, we'll be at about where we are right now, mid-60s, 65 for the high for much of the area tomorrow, and more showers and thunderstorms are on the way. Same for those southern counties as well. It'll be around mid-60s too, a little bit warmer down by Adams County with some more storms, multiple rounds making their way through. So let's take a look at that radar. Looks like around 8 a.m. we'll have that first storm making its way through Wausau down by Adams County as well. Then we'll just have more rounds of thunderstorms down by those southern counties making their way into the overnight hours, and then we'll have to get ready for another system coming into Saturday. But taking a look ahead in tonight, temperatures are going to cool off down to the mid-50s. We have a forecast low of 56, just a little bit above that normal low of 52. Dan?
Thanks, Chase. A portion of State Highway 29 had to be closed earlier this morning due to an axe-wielding man who claimed to have explosives. The incident occurred around 12:30 a.m. in the town of Morris, outside of Wittenberg. Officers were dispatched for a welfare check on a man with a disabled truck on the highway. When they arrived, the man carrying an axe ran away. He climbed a ladder on a nearby silo to avoid authorities. While deputies attempted to speak to him, he made comments about having explosives in his truck and camper. Authorities then shut down Highway 29 between 45 and County J. Officers spoke to the man for 2 hours before he finally came down from the silo and was detained without further incident. No explosives were found at the scene. The man was placed in protective custody. Housing is hard to come by right now, but one apartment complex in Marathon City is expanding their availability. Jackie McElroy is the Director of Business Development at Bluestone's Estates. She said they had one apartment complex for many years, but then in 2020, the village of Marathon City came to Bluestone Estates with a plan to expand.
So we worked with them on planning it, and it is now open. So we added 30 additional units to the current 28 that were on site.
The new complex is 3 different building styles to have more choices for people to choose from.
Which are 11 different floor plans to give people a lot of options at this location. So we have 1, 2, and 3 bedrooms, 1 level living options. So just some new options for people that are looking for a place to live in Marathon City.
For anyone interested in leasing with Bluestone Estates, contact them for more information. The project took 2 years to complete, but McElroy is excited to see people already moving in. Let's Tee Off Against Breast Cancer held their 15th annual 18-hole fundraiser golf scramble today, hosted by the Trout Lake Ladies Golf League in Arborvita. 100% of the funds raised are used to provide financial, emotional, and educational support services for breast cancer patients right here in the Northwoods.
We raise around $25,000 every year to use for We Care cancer tote bags, and they contain like a fleece blanket, Sudokus, fun things for ladies to do while they're sitting through chemo, and probably the biggest bonus is a quick trip card for $100 for gas, getting back and forth to appointments.
Karen Lewis, chairman of Let's Tee Off Against Breast Cancer, said they have given 600 tote bags out in the last 9 years to breast cancer patients through events such as this one.
Our community is so supportive because all our money stays in the Northwoods.
Funds raised go directly to James Beck Cancer Center in Rhinelander and Marshfield Clinic in Minocqua. The Rhinelander community is mourning the sudden loss of George Roman. Today, a memorial was held at Roman Cinema. Our own Jake Force caught up with 2 of the many people positively impacted by George.
I could call George up anytime and he would say yes and drop whatever he was doing to help me with whatever it is I needed. You could always count on George. And I don't know when he slept. I don't know how he did it all, but what a void.
As the Rhinelander community continues to mourn the loss of George Roman, some of those who worked closely with him are reflecting on the impact he had on so many people in Rhinelander, the Northwoods, and beyond. Heather Shalleck worked with George on the board of the Nicolet College Foundation and said that above all, George's kind heart and willingness to mentor the next generation of Northwoods entrepreneurs is what she will remember the most.
I think what made George so good as an entrepreneur is his interest in learning all the time, but also teaching. He didn't want to keep any trade secrets. He wanted to share the knowledge and share what he learned so that others could also learn and help others.
Part of that mentorship included helping his employees, who are mostly in high school or recently graduated, to find a cause in the community during the holiday season that they wanted to donate to. Roman, back in December, elaborating on the importance of teaching young people to give back.
For me, it's just a way to do a couple of things. Number one, again, give back to the community. But number two, to try to have a conversation with my staff, who again are mainly younger people, about the importance of working within your community, giving back.
Nath Frederick's Abby Lukowski also highlighted what it meant to grow up with Roman and later work with him on various philanthropic endeavors.
George's heart, I believe, was what I valued most, or what I think most of us will value and miss the most. I think our community is going to grieve for a long time because he was a big brother, if you will, for many of us.
Lukowski added that while Roman was a fantastic businessman, he was, above all else, a man of integrity.
And not so much the monetary gain. It was about making sure that Rhinelander had, those internal components that are so necessary for a thriving community.
Thank you, Jake. 4 months ago, a toddler went missing in Manitowoc County. Coming up, we'll have an update on the search for Elijah Vu. That's after Weather with Chase right here on Newswatch 12.
This portion of News Watch 12 is brought to you by Northwoods Furniture, Eagle River.
Why take the hit on this 2024 Duramax diesel when you can save 15 grand on this used 2024? If you can't see the difference, why pay the difference? Go now to lenstruck.com. That's lenstruck.com.
You work hard to put a roof over your head, and Overhead Solutions works hard to be your first choice as your trusted roofing partner. We want to earn your business. Call us today for a free estimate.
Ho-Chunk Gaming Wittenberg will host Queensryche with a special guest appearance by Slaughter. Saturday, August 10th. Doors open at 6 p.m. Guests 21 and over may redeem their ticket stub at the Rewards Club to receive $10 rewards play. Tickets are on sale now for Queensryche featuring Slaughter. Saturday, August 10th. Only at Ho-Chunk Gaming Wittenberg. Must be 18 years of age or older to enter.
There is no place I'd rather be on the 4th of July holiday week than on a boat.
Need a boat or need to upgrade for more space? Get to American Marine in Shawano and pick from 900 boats and pontoons in stock. Then, increase your power with a Mercury motor, and you still have time to make the best memories ever. Buy a boat or Mercury motor from us and have it in the water the next day.
This 4th of July, make sure you're on the water with American Marine.
Hard water damage makes it hard to keep your home looking picture perfect. Culligan softeners reduce buildup and cleaning time, transforming your water into the fine art of a long-lasting clean. Culligan, water you love.
Why take the hit on this 2024 Duramax diesel when you can save 15 grand on this used 2024? If you can't see the difference, why pay the difference? Go now to lenstruck.com. That's lenstruck.com.
Welcome back, everybody. Hopefully you're having a great night tonight. We had near perfect temperatures today. We can see Rhinelander just around 75 degrees. That's almost perfect. And then much of the area was in the low to mid 70s as well, so much more comfortable temperatures today. And we did a little flip-flop. You can see here we actually had colder temperatures for highs down in the southern part of the state, while we were a little bit warmer. Usually it's the other way around, as the southern part of the state is usually warmer this time of year, but did a little flip-flop today. And then for going into those temperatures right now, still a little bit of the same. We see low 60s down south, and we got 65 still in Rhinelander, but most of the temperatures are all in that low to mid 60s range, and we do have some upper 50s up north near Manitowish Waters and Lando Lakes. So taking a look into the temperatures going into tomorrow morning, temperatures will be around mid 50s for us, 55 in Rhinelander, and much of the same around our area. Down south, we'll have some low to mid 60s for morning lows, so still a little bit warmer down south for us, as we do have some storms coming in tomorrow early morning. But taking a look at the temperature trend, much cooler temperatures now throughout the week. Will be really much cooler tomorrow with a high of only 65, and then we'll have low 70s going Saturday and Sunday. More like summer temperatures Monday and Tuesday in those low 80s, and then we'll cool down again going into Wednesday and Thursday. So humidity with those temperatures this week, right now, we're going to be pretty comfortable, but then once we get into those low 80s going into Monday and Tuesday, that's when the humidity will spike back up, and it'll make those temperatures feel a lot warmer than they really are. So as I always say, make sure you stay hydrated and drink lots of water if you're outside enjoying the outdoors. So let's take a look at the radar as of right now. It looks like showers are diminishing over our area. May have just been Virga as well, which is rain that doesn't reach the surface, but our next weather system is preparing to make its way into the early morning hours, as we have a thunderstorm outlook with most of our southern counties in the slight risk region, marginal near Wausau, and I believe it may get extended up by Rhinelander, but most likely all that activity is going to stay to the southern counties. So the Futurecast does show, looks like around 8 a.m. is when the first system is going to make its way, closing in on Wausau down to Adams County. And then those thunderstorms will ride along a warm front where they will continue to form throughout the day, going to the evening hours as well. This is where some of these storms can become isolated, which means they could have a tornado threat possibly, or hail as well, and gusty winds with some heavy rainfall too. So this is going to be something to keep an eye on, as we have another system coming in Saturday that does look a lot stronger as well. So rainfall totals with these storms, a lot of it is going to be centered in our southern counties in our viewing area. We can see Mosinee just close to 1.5 inches, Stevens Point as well as Marshfield too. So anywhere in this blue region down in the southern region is going to see definitely over 1 inch of rain, with a lot of storms making their way through the region tomorrow. Wind speeds right now are very calm, much better than we saw a few days ago when we had a lot of gusty winds. Looks like Rhinelander has a southeast wind around 3 miles per hour, or northeast, and then a southeast near Eagle River around 5 miles per hour. Other than that, lots of zeros on the board. Winds are pretty calm for us going into tonight. So for tonight's forecast, mostly cloudy, and then we could have some thunderstorms on the way into those early morning hours. That will be more for our southern viewing area. Other than that, lows will be 56 here in Rhinelander, and winds will be from the east at 5 miles per hour. Going into tomorrow, thunderstorms are likely throughout the day. Heavy rainfall is possible, especially during that storm around 8 a.m., and then winds will be from the east-southeast at around 5 to 10 miles per hour. Going into your 7-day forecast, brought to you by Northwoods Furniture and Mattress. Tomorrow and Saturday, we do have heavy thunderstorms on the way, mostly for our southern viewing area going into tomorrow, and then a widespread throughout Saturday. Showers will linger into Sunday, and then warmer temperatures are on the way Monday into Tuesday. Dan?
Thanks, Chase. The Oneida County Health Department has seen more rabies cases this year. This year, the Oneida County Health Department has recorded 43 cases since January 1st, while there were 36 cases in the same time frame last year. Rabies can have serious symptoms for pets and people, as well as being fatal. The only way to make sure if an animal has rabies is by testing the brain tissue.
Agitation, restlessness, and then eventually leads to paralysis, which goes into we talk about the drooling and the foaming at the mouth. It's because they can't swallow because of the paralysis, and it can lead to difficulty walking and then eventually death.
Rabies does not have a cure and can occur in all mammals, with the most animal cases in Wisconsin coming from bats and skunks.
Just keeping the animals up to date, staying away from wild animals to minimize your chance of contracting a deadly viral disease.
If you or your pet is bit by an animal that may have rabies, you should contact your local health department and report the exposure to law enforcement. It's been 4 months since toddler Elijah Vu was reported missing in Manitowoc County, Wisconsin. Reporter Emily Matesic has an update on the search and a possible resolution in the relevant child neglect case.
Dinosaurs and teddy bears still sit outside the Two Rivers apartment building where Elijah Vu was reportedly last seen on February 20th. His missing person posters continue to hang in storefront windows in Manitowoc County, too.
It's like he's still missing, you know, and you still have to participate and remind people that he is still there. I mean, his family is missing him, and I hope he's missing them. I hope that's the direction.
It's been an agonizing 4 months for the Manitowoc County community, many holding out hope the boy will be found. Now 4 months later.
It's a sad situation all around, and that's the best way to put it, I guess. It's terribly sad when a small child goes missing in our community.
In an update posted to social media this week, the Two Rivers Police Department said law enforcement searches for the boy continue locally, as well as in the Wisconsin Dells and Portage areas. Federal authorities are following leads, too. All of this while the wheels of justice are still turning. Vu's mother's attorney appearing in Manitowoc County Court via Zoom Thursday afternoon for a status conference. The attorney hinting to a possible resolution to the child neglect charges Katrina Bauer is facing.
I need to speak with Ms. Bauer. We may have a resolution. I'm not 100% sure.
How did CEO Eric Hovde become a multimillionaire California banker? Let's take a look. Hovde's family rigged the system to rake in $30 million in government subsidies and loans. And now he's sheltering his wealth in shady tax havens around the world. So it's no surprise Hovde supports more tax cuts for corporations and millionaire bankers like himself, while working families pay the price. That's bank CEO Eric Hovde. Never been on our side. Never will be. Win Senate is responsible for the content of this ad.
Get an 11% rebate on your bathroom remodel. Menards carries a wide variety of Delta tubs and showers sure to fit your lifestyle. They're designed with durability in mind. This low-maintenance high-crop shower is on sale for $599.99 after rebate. Finish your bathroom upgrade with a new Delta faucet. The convenience of the Lampard pull-down faucet makes cleanup easy. Plus, its elegant design is sure to impress. Now $149.96 after 11% rebate.
Save big money at Menards.
They say that breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Well, they are correct.
Enjoy one of our tasty steak patty sandwiches paired with a $2 medium-iced coffee.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
If there's one thing we like, it's choices. Find yours with Ford F-150. Gas, hybrid, or all electric. Whether it's towing, powering up, or getting from 0 to 60 in 3.8 seconds, what you choose to do with that much power is up to you. Tough this smart can only be called F-150.
Now, get a built Ford Tough F-150 with 1.9% APR for 36 months, plus $500 retail bonus cash. See your Wisconsin Ford dealer.
The Northwoods provides plenty of beauty year-round, and the weather events that develop can produce some amazing photos. Submit yours online at WJFW's weather photo section on the website to share with the WJFW weather team.
Coming up on Newswatch 12 today, we'll have this week's edition of Homeward Bound.
And get ready, Jackie. We are looking at more rainfall back in the area with even some severe threats possibly back in the forecast. I'll have the timing and more coming up.
A local athlete had a shot at qualifying for the 2024 Summer Olympics in Paris. Rhinelander's own Malia Francis took to the pool to try and swim her way to being called an Olympian. Unfortunately for the Liberty swimmer, she did not qualify in her event. Francis competed in the women's 200-meter backstroke, where she finished with a time of 2 minutes, 14 seconds, putting her in 38th place. Her time was only around 3 seconds away from being named reserve, so great effort, Malia. And with the Olympic trials underway, let's talk about some Wisconsin athletes who have already qualified for the 2024 Paris Games. From Eau Claire, Mary Tyson Lappin will be representing the Badger State on Team USA as a weightlifter. Tyson Lappin will be lifting in the over 87-kilogram weight class, where she's already won 2 gold medals in the Pan American Games and a silver medal in the 2023 World Weightlifting Championships. The Olympic Games will begin on Friday, July 26th, and can be streamed right here on NBC. The Milwaukee Brewers were in action fresh off their series win against the Los Angeles Angels in LA. They started their road series in Southern California, and they plan on ending it there as well, with the Crew taking on the Padres in San Diego for a 3-game road series before coming back to Milwaukee on Monday. Game 1 was tonight with the West Coast first pitch time for the Crew, so this game's still going on. Currently, the Padres are up 5-3 in the 6th inning. The Crew are looking to win this game, which would give them their 9th win in their last 13 games. Bad news for the Brewers, though, with their already limited pitching staff depleted even more now. Milwaukee's rookie starting pitcher Robert Gasser has opted into Tommy John surgery, putting him out for this season and possibly a few months next season as well. The Crew's left-hander will miss around 12 months to recover from the surgery. Gasser had 5 appearances for the Brewers this season, starting all of them holding a 2.57 ERA on 28 innings pitched, while recording 16 strikeouts on a 2-0 record. Sticking with baseball, but moving on to the Northwoods League, the Wausau Woodchucks and the Wisconsin Rapids Rafters were in action in a doubleheader in Wausau. Game 1 saw the Rafters win it big 15-3. However, Game 2 was a little bit closer, and that one saw the Woodchucks win it 6-3, giving them their revenge to split the doubleheader. We'll be right back after the break.
Save during the summer tire event at Sherrill Tire and Auto Service. Up to $200 back on select sets of 4 Goodyear tires. Buy online or mail-in rebate when you use the Goodyear credit card. Through June 28th at Sherrill Tire and Auto Service. Find your location at SherrillTire.com.
Up to 60% off list at the 4th of July blowout at Slumberland Furniture. Explosive deals everywhere. Like this classic sofa in 3 colors. Or a Chase sofa for just $5.98. Recline and save for just $3.99. Get this incredible deal, head-up base and 8-inch mattress, just $4.99 for both. Plus, our 365-night sleep guarantee. What a sale. The 4th of July blowout at Slumberland Furniture.
Quality Homes of Tomahawk now sells modular homes built by Wisconsin Homes. Wisconsin Homes has maintained a tradition of building some of the finest homes on the market. Quality Homes also has a large selection of new manufactured and mobile homes. New homes are available for immediate delivery and set up anywhere in Wisconsin. Whether buying your first home or a cabin getaway, Quality Homes has the experience and expertise to make your dreams reality. Visit them today at QualityMH.com.
I'm Tammy Baldwin, and I approve this message.
You may not know what to make of Eric Hovde, but if you're getting older or have a loved one who is, Eric Hovde has a plan for you. Eric Hovde thinks people living in nursing homes should not have the right to vote. That's right.
If you're in a nursing home, you only have 5-6 month life expectancy. Almost nobody in a nursing home is in a point to vote.
Stripping seniors of the right to vote? Eric Hovde, what's wrong with this guy?
Get up to $200 back on a select set of Goodyear tires at Sherrill Tire and Auto Service during the summer tire event with an online or mail-in rebate and the Goodyear credit card through June 28th. Get the best tire prices, period, at Sherrill Tire and Auto Service. Find your location at SherrillTire.com.
Emmy and Golden Globe winning actor Donald Sutherland has died at the age of 88. He passed away today in Miami, according to a post from his son, Kiefer Sutherland, also an actor. Donald Sutherland appeared in close to 200 film and television credits, among them The Dirty Dozen, MASH, Animal House, and The Hunger Games. Sutherland had been suffering from a long-term illness at the time of his death. The hearing for former University of Wisconsin lacrosse chancellor Joe Gow concluded today. He was fired as chancellor after it was revealed he and his wife allegedly made adult videos on multiple websites. But now the UWL faculty committee will weigh in on if he should be able to keep his tenured faculty position. Dejal Menzel has more from today's closing arguments and Gow's thoughts afterwards.
Joe Gow and employees of UWL met at the Omni Center once again for a public hearing about Gow's potential termination as a faculty member at the university. After Gow called his only witness, Interim Chancellor Betsy Morgan, both sides shared closing arguments. The university argued that there is no question that Dr. Gow engaged in insubordination.
The university has provided evidence that establishes just cause to terminate Dr. Gow's employment. Dr. Gow has violated university policy and has undermined the trust the university once had in him. More troubling is that he just doesn't seem to get it.
Gow responded saying the university has claimed he caused reputational harm to it, but that hasn't been proven.
Now that the prosecution has presented its case, I think it's clear that they have not proved just cause. They have led us in several unrelated directions, but ultimately they have taken us nowhere.
During the hearing, Gow also showed multiple emails and text messages concerning how the university was able to get a hold of his computers.
It's hard to know how the committee will see things, but I think our presentation today was pretty powerful in terms of here are the text messages and emails that show who was collaborating to get those computers.
Gow says this process will be far from over if the faculty committee recommends his removal.
Then it'll go to the Board of Regents and there'll be another hearing and we'll, I guess, kind of do this over again. I don't know. I mean, I'm certainly not going to go away. I think as you heard in the hearing today, they've said a lot of things about us that just simply aren't true, and that doesn't feel very good.
After the hearing, the faculty committee held a closed meeting to recommend whether or not Gow will be terminated from his faculty position.
Listen up. I devised a plan to find better home internet, guys. Madison, you scout the web for the best deals. Peggy, you monitor our projected data usage. And Ellen...
Avoid that hassle and go with U.S. Cellular Home Internet. No more guesswork, and it is faster than ever.
All right, new plan. You sign us up for U.S. Cellular Home Internet. Clipper and I will try it out by streaming the game in our new sports theater.
Is that a grill?
And a hot tub for you.
U.S. Cellular new and improved home internet. Just $34.99 when bundled with a wireless plan.
In today's economy, it seems the value of a dollar continues to shrink, while the services offered are getting less and less. Here at Maher Water Corporation, a new high-efficiency system made by WaterCare can help ease the stress on your checkbook. We are always available to analyze and recommend one of these units.
So while we can't actually make your money grow, we can make the value of what you get from Maher seem like it.
At Big Valley Ford, we know that car buying is more than just a transaction. It's an experience, and we're here to make it a great one. Our friendly and knowledgeable staff will guide you through finding the right vehicle to fit your needs and budget. Big Valley Ford is passionate about every vehicle that enters our service center, and our team of technicians are here to help you with all of your service needs. Stop into Big Valley in Ewan, Michigan, and experience a Big Valley difference.
There is no place I'd rather be on the 4th of July holiday week than on a boat.
Need a boat or need to upgrade for more space? Get to American Marine in Shawano and pick from 900 boats and pontoons in stock. Then, increase your power with a Mercury motor, and you still have time to make the best memories ever. Buy a boat or Mercury motor from us and have it in the water the next day.
This 4th of July, make sure you're on the water with American Marine.
Senator Baldwin says I'm not from Wisconsin. But this was my childhood home. Graduated East High. Became a Badger in '86, where I've had my company for over 20 years.
And this is where we live. It's our family home.
I'm a fourth-generation Wisconsinite. It made me who I am. If Senator Baldwin's not going to be honest with you about where I'm from, what makes you think she'll be honest with you about anything? I'm Eric Hovde, and I approve this message.
The 2024 Bear Cupboard Run is Saturday, June 29th. Half marathon, 5K run walk, and Kids Cubby Run. Please register online. Visit bearcupboardrun.org for more information.
Well, Chase and Saul, looks like a great tomorrow for some sports for you to cover. Oh, wait.
Oh, no.
Sports
that
is
was
over.
Too soon. Wow. Well, high school sports are over, but we still got the Northwoods League. We still got the Crandon Brush Run. But are we going to do that with some weather this weekend?
Depends if they're in the southern counties, you know. No. So we do got some good storms coming to the southern counties. On the radar, it's showing in the early morning hours, we'll have a big rainmaker coming in just south of Wausau into Adams County. And then there's a warm frontal zone making its way, and that's where all these storms are going to train along. And that's where we could see some isolated supercells possibly with a chance of isolated tornadoes and hail, gusty winds, all that good stuff. And that'll go into Saturday as well. So for your 7-day forecast, heavy storms tomorrow and Saturday, but things will warm up on Monday and Tuesday.
Ooh, all right. Well, we just got to make it through the weekend.
Yep. Hope the brush run's okay in Crandon. We'll see you though. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you back here tomorrow.
Arby's 2 for $5 chicken wraps come in your choice of ranch, honey mustard, barbecue, and a bonus flavor called Incredible Value. You can't taste it, but boy, is it sweet. Arby's, we have the meat.
We've been everywhere. We've coated patios, pool decks, basements, hospitals, warehouses, walkways, man caves, churches, schools, airports, hotels, and garages. If it's concrete, we will coat it.
A lot of law firms claim to be experts at handling injury cases that involve large trucks. But handling one trucking case does not make you an expert on the subject. Experience matters in these cases. One local firm has handled 25 trucking cases which resulted in payments over $1 million each, and hundreds of others as well. Because Wisconsinites know who to call when it's a must-win scenario. They call Habish, Habish & Rotier. National reputation, hometown service.
There are trucks, and then there's the GMC Sierra, available with the connected driving experience and the world's first 6-function multi-pro tailgate. GMC Sierra. It's the truck. Or get $3,500 purchase cash on select GMC Sierra models. Or get a total of $6,000 purchase allowance when you trade in an eligible vehicle.
Visit your North Central Wisconsin GMC dealer.
Hi, I'm Karen from the Hearing House, and these are our grandchildren. Children are difficult to hear with anybody with hearing loss, and I know I would hate to miss out on anything they say.
Gamma, they're cheating.
Even that. If you're missing out on what they're saying, you're probably missing out on a lot more.
Love you, Gamma.
Aw, and they have important things to say.
Make your house a hearing house.